Do you believe COVID-19 was politicized?
Yeah, the whole process was politicized. Senator, I mean, we were lied to about everything. We were lied to about natural immunity. We were lied to about, we were told again and again the vaccines would prevent transmission, they prevent infection. It wasn't true. They knew it from the start it wasn't true because that's what the animal studies and the clinical trials showed. We were told that there was science behind cloth masks. The CDC allowed the teachers union to write the order closing our schools, which hurt working people all over the country, and then pretend it was science-based. All of these issues, and then I can show you, like, for example, Chairman Wyden was talking about me politicizing ACIP, but during COVID, probably the most famous scientist on ACIP was Martin Kulldorff from Harvard, the great, world-renowned epidemiologist and vaccinologist. And he criticized the COVID booster mandates. They ejected him from COVID because he wasn't in the orthodoxy. The two biggest health officials at FDA during COVID, Dr. Gruber and Dr. Krause, criticized the Biden mandates, vaccine mandates. President Biden said in August, I would never take that vaccine, the Trump vaccine. And he came in, he mandated it, and then he fired the two top health officials at FDA who said, hey, this thing has not been properly tested. So the whole process was politicized, and even today.
So let me.
Nothing's just.
Warning: this show contains strong language, brutal opinions, and zero apologies given. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to Savaged Unfiltered, where truth gets raw, opinions stay real, and nothing is off limits. This isn't your average podcast. It's the unfiltered conversation you've been craving. Politics, culture, chaos, we're diving into it all. No scripts, no safe spaces, just savage takes and real talk. You're in the right place. Strap in. It's time to get unfiltered. Savage.
Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Saturday to everybody, guys. Everybody out there. COVID hysteria. It looks like it's making a U-turn, right? It's coming back, and they're trying everything. They really are. They're trying everything from well, they tried the Epstein thing earlier this week with Trump, and it looks like they're now focusing more on COVID, and they're looking for, I guess, top contenders within the Trump circle, right? The MAGA movement, to undermine this president once again. They literally grilled the hell out of RFK Jr. this past week. And Secretary Kennedy didn't hold back. Didn't hold back one damn bit. And now, Joe, they're exposing the entire deep state of COVID. So
Yeah. Well, first, I'm grumpy, so my apologies. I'm grumpy. It'll probably show because I was up late last night getting Constitutionalist Politics 3 onto Amazon, and MacroSuck Winslow 11 blue screened on me, and the Word document with the soft copy version got corrupted. Normally, I would create a soft copy, then create a Kindle copy and strip like the page numbering and that. Well, my soft copy got screwed up, so I had to fucking copy my Kindle copy back and try to remember, okay, what all did I remove from the Kindle copy and put it back in? So I'm tired. I'm fucking grumpy. But
I
yeah.
don't know why you're grumpy. You got a nice looking backdrop that gave you man to use for the show. Kind of retired the old logo guys with the skull.
Yeah.
So I mean, Joe, like what
But
it's hard to keep up with these liberals, man. You know,
yeah,
they're
the
flip
whole
flopping from
Epstein
narrative to
thing.
narrative, you
Yeah,
know?
the Epstein thing, more documents, 30,000 more documents were released. That still won't be enough. Here's reality.
Mm,
You leftards refuse to deal in reality.
mm,
It's liberal judges protecting Democrats, and especially Bill Clinton, who ordered most of that stuff sealed.
yeah,
It's not up to Trump. It's not up to Bondi. It's not up to Patel. You, if you want them released, talk to your judges that
yeah,
sealed the files.
oh, yeah.
Nothing to do with this administration. And same thing with the Wuhan hysteria shit again. All that shit was done under Biden. They forced vaccines, which still, RFK Jr. used it the other day too. It's not a fucking vaccine. A vaccine is mumps, measles, polio, tuberculosis. That 99.9% of population then becomes immune to what you were vaccinated for. The Wuhan hysteria flu shots do not vaccinate, make one person, not one fucking person
Mm.
becomes immune to Wuhan hysteria taking the shot.
You know, I noticed in that that grilling conversation to Secretary Kennedy the other day, which he didn't hold back, and I commend the hell out of him for doing it. He is I mean a force to be reckoned with the radical left, and he brought up literally exposure linked to COVID and autism, the vaccines that are linking towards the autism.
Yeah, because
And
they
as soon
weren't.
as he brought that up, Joe, they
Yep.
were like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, all the ones on the take from Big Pharma, because it's a money grab. That's all it is. It they weren't properly tested, and RFK Jr. said it in that clip.
mm,
Those who wanted it properly tested were summarily dismissed. They didn't care. It was all about money. And I blame Trump also. Operation Warp Speed, fucking failure.
mm.
Another federal government boondoggle. The pharma companies didn't deserve one dime. They should have used their own research money for the COVID stuff. Operation Warp Speed should have never happened.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the graphic right here. I mean, if you look at the lower left of the graphic, guys, I mean, this was actually posted, on social with RFK's social team, highlighting literally everything with FDA authorized mRNA to the COVID, and then you see like the highlighted stuff, right? Right, Joe? Uh,
Yeah.
you know, all this, all this being exposed, and rightfully so. You know, RFK guys is literally on a mission. The CDC leadership pushed back on RFK Jr. challenging vaccine policies. That was actually the other day, guys. He revoked the emergency use authorization for COVID vax
As it
due
should.
to that. Yeah.
And you use the word vax. Stop fucking using the word. It's not a vaccine, it's
No.
a flu shot.
No, it's not. And Joe, you know, since we're on this topic, you know, like the CDC director that was fired, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think it was a rightful termination?
I leave it to RFK. I would never ever
Mm.
vote for RFK Jr. for president. Never in a million years. I
No.
wouldn't trust him. But in this role, yes. Tulsi Gabbard, met her several times. I don't trust her as far as I could throw her.
Yeah.
I would never vote for her for president, but where she's at in this cabinet, perfect. The right people for the right jobs
Well,
that
you
they can
say
be
you
trusted
you
in.
bring up the term trust, right? So obviously, here's my question to you, Joe. Okay, and bear with me, guys. I've gotten an I was attacked the other day, and I'll go into that in another episode. But my ribs are really bruised. So bear with me. It's my normal demeanor is not there. I'm gonna try, but I got a question with you guys. With you, Joe. You use the term
Trust. Yeah.
trust, right? Okay, so you obviously don't trust Tulsi or Robert or RFK Jr., right? So you don't
In
trust
the
them as
roles they're in, I do, yes,
that
but
that's
not to be president.
so why do you trust them within the roles they have now versus a presidential role?
Well, I
That's a little
I
odd,
don't.
don't you think?
Well,
Like, wouldn't they have the same type of roles? I mean, they're
they're
the
both
same character.
Democrats. They're both still
Right.
Democrats.
Right, they're Democrats, so, like but obviously they're somewhat red pilling, right? And they're waking up, so you trust them within the
To
roles.
some degree, they're
Right,
red pilling, but
right.
not entirely.
Right. I'm gonna pull this a little bit on you, not to like get back at Joe for the whole sauce thing the other day. If you guys check this out, but I'm gonna pull the same scenario with Joe as he pulled with sauce. So you trust them within the cabinet roles that they have currently within the Trump administration, but you wouldn't trust them as a presidential type of role. It's the same character, Joe, isn't it? Is it not?
No, as president, you have control over everything.
So the character changes, the demeanor changes. You're saying?
Well, merit of each and every issue.
I'm putting you on the
And
spot because I'm trying to
no,
challenge
that's
you
good.
what you mean
Yeah.
by that, you know what I mean?
On the health issues, RFK is right. Other issues, I don't think he is. That's why I wouldn't trust him as president. Tulsi, on other issues, I still think is left of center. I
Mm,
wouldn't trust her as president. Same with John McClain. I wasn't happy, obviously, when he became the nominee, and I had to hold my nose. He shouldn't have been president, but he would
uh,
have been better than Obama, right? But John McClain, Secretary of Defense or something? Okay.
sure.
President? No. Same with Mitt Romney, right? As governor of Massachusetts, a very bluish purple state, okay, the best Republican we could get. But Utah senator? No, that's a conservative state. We deserve a much more conservative, real Republican out of Utah. So thank God he moved aside, moved on. Good fucking riddance to him.
Yeah, I just found that kind of interesting that there is a trust barrier with you between RFK and Tulsi, within their roles. Obviously, the cabinet positions that they have.
Outside of those roles, I have a
And if
trust
they
issue.
had a, presidential role, I my
I
view
mean,
is
that's true of a lot of people. There's
yeah,
a lot of people I
yeah,
would never want as president, but they would be great cabinet members.
yeah, I mean,
Pete Pete
my
Hegseth,
view
I don't know if I'd want him as president, but
yeah,
Sec Defense, perfect.
yeah, my view on people's persona of character, I believe and I use this, and I'm not being a yuppie. I'm not being, naive or brainwashed in any matter of fashion, folks. But I believe that the people that go into roles, whether they're Congress members or they're Senate members or they're presidential type of roles, I believe that the character should always follow within those roles. It should never change. And I would hope to trust people that are in those roles at first. Now, as I see them kind of progress and everything else, that trust level may go out the window, Joe. Obviously, if RFK was president or Tulsi Gabbard became president and they different differentiate yeah, where's my word? Differentiated differently from the actual previous roles of what they are now in the Trump cabinet, the Trump administration, and they weren't fulfilling that as a presidential role, well, then I would have a different opinion.
Yeah.
But I would
And
hope to trust it.
yeah, after 4 years of being part of this administration, hopefully RFK Jr. and Tulsi move right on even more things.
Mm,
But now back to the Wuhan hysteria stuff. And I'm sorry, I don't know the guy's name, but the guy who
yeah.
literally dreamt up the notion of mRNA
Mm,
says he wouldn't get the current mRNA shots. It's as a technology, as a concept, as a theory. I,
yeah.
I agree. Manipulating DNA might eventually be a good thing for helping some things, but potential for it to really go fucking sideways means we need to approach it cautiously. And the literal guy, 30 years ago, dreamt up the concept of mRNA, says he would not get these shots. They're not safe. They're not ready. The mRNA as a whole concept isn't ready, isn't tested, isn't vetted enough.
Yeah, well, Senator Kennedy went into the numbers that are now some 76%, I believe, that went into something similar to chronic disease from this whole charade. Check this video out, guys.
This morning, I got the latest numbers from CDC that 76.4% of Americans now have a chronic disease. This is stunning. When my uncle was president, it was 11%. 1950, it was 3%. Today, it's 76.4%. 8 out of 10 of our kids cannot qualify for military service. This is a national security issue. When my uncle was president, we spent
Interesting.
0 on chronic disease. Today, we spend $1.3 trillion. It's the biggest cause. It's increasing. And all of the
We are
arguments
the
Republicans and
least
Democrats
healthy nation on the
about
planet.
single payer, Obamacare, or with the various ways of
Huh.
allocate the health dollars, they're all like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
Wow.
I agree.
He brings up that analogy that, our next set of youth are not qualified for military service due to this chronic disease that
Yeah.
they're obtaining from this disease or this
Well, and
vaccine,
our
or whatever the
companies,
hell it is.
other countries protect their citizens.
Yeah.
Look at Fruit Loops. The manufacturer of Fruit Loops abroad, look at a box,
Mm.
and it's got like 6 or 7 ingredients.
All
Look at-
dyes. All
Look
red
at-
and blue
no,
dyes. Yep.
No. In the US, look at the box in the US, and there's like 25 ingredients.
Yeah.
Most is artificial nonsense and
Well, that's the
preservative
dyes I was
and-
talking about, the red and
Yes.
blue dyes, yeah, which RFK is, I mean, he's trying to get these companies to change.
And
Even
there's
McDonald's,
no
Joe,
right.
look at
There's
McDonald's,
no
he's trying to
need
get
to-
the fructose syrup out of McDonald's
Yeah.
frying methods with the fries
Yeah.
and nuggets, yeah,
Yeah. Fruit Loops is a perfect example.
yeah.
You fucking make it healthier
Any cereal,
abroad
Kellogg's,
already.
yeah.
You know damn well you can make it good. You're doing it there. There's no need to give you 1 or 2 years to change your process here. No, fucking do it overnight. You're doing it. It's not as if you need to experiment on changes. We want you to do what you're already fucking doing. We're not asking you to invent something new.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up, Joe, because like you notice how let me go back to that video for a minute and kind of comment on that. You notice how the entire room went silent when he was bringing up these numbers, okay, that were linked to chronic disease. And obviously, he's brought up, the artificial dyes and coloring with, major cereal brands such as Kellogg's and like you brought up Fruit Loops, right? A clear example of that. But as soon as as he brings up numbers, they go silent for a minute, and then you see some, you hear audio sometimes in these videos with some whispering and stuff and everything else,
They're
and they're trying to
conspiring.
challenging him. They're
They're
trying to get him on
conspiring
spot. Yeah,
behind the scenes. Okay,
yeah,
what talking point do we have to counter?
exactly.
What spin? What delusion? What narrative versus his facts
Yeah,
and reality? And the other
exactly.
thing is like SNAP at the federal level, we
Mm,
changed the program and the guidelines, and most red states have removed. Uh, we did this before. How it came back, I don't know. Like soft drinks with the high caffeine and the high corn fructose syrup and the high sugar contents are being removed from the SNAP program. No, buy water, buy juice. No, you don't get to buy you don't get to buy ding dongs on Snap anymore. No, buy carrot sticks, healthier stuff. There's no and RFK in another part of the discussion went into that. You pay me now or pay me later.
that's
Why are
how it
we
works.
letting them buy all this unhealthy stuff on Snap? Our Medicaid costs are 100 times what they should be because our kids are unhealthy because we're letting them buy all this bad shit. Parents, out of laziness, buying all this shit and feeding it to their kids. The kids are unhealthy. We, and if I, I'm sorry. Yes, as a Christian, I want to help others.
Yeah.
Welfare, it's supposed to be a charity thing, not a government thing. That's a whole other argument here, right? But uh, yes, charity is good. I want to help them, but I don't want to help them on the front side and then them require more help later because they're so unhealthy. We need to help the right way, right?
Yeah.
Give a man a fish he eats for a day. Teach him. We need to teach people to be healthier.
Yeah.
We need to not make it so easy for them to, right?
Oh,
Freedom,
absolutely.
right? If I am paying, I have a fucking say.
Yeah.
If you're using my money, I get the fucking say. If you
Yeah.
want to buy all that junk, get a fucking job. Buy whatever the fuck you want with your own earned money. But
Absolutely.
if you're taking our money, we fucking have a say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, I want to direct your attention here before we go to this next set of charades here with RFK and the radical left guys. I want to say thank you. Obviously, always. Hey, we got the promo right for a change, guys. This show is actually being brought to you by and partnered with Blackout Coffee. It's coffee for America's warriors, literally. They stand by that term, that terminology, and for all my conservative audience out there that's viewing us, whether on the live stream or through the audio platforms, understand this, guys. If you're not familiar with Blackout Coffee, they are a non woke company. They don't believe in woke ideologies. They don't believe in the alphabet mafia narrative. They don't believe in any of that garbage, guys. like it says right on the top of their website, Coffee for America's Warriors, non woke shit, and they kind of censor it a little bit because obviously, if it kids, I mean, I know a simple 5 or 6 years old, modern 5 or 6 years old probably understands the word shit now because of the type of society we live in. But I mean, they're a respectful company and they even censor it out, for all the Christian families that don't practice that garbage. Guys, for checking them out today, we're going to give you 20% off by using this promo code SAVAGE20. That's right, guys. Scan the QR code today. Check them out. All their amazing products. One of my favorites, 2A Guns and Gadgets for all my Second Amendment advocates out there. Yeah, guys, I believe in gun rights as I have a few in my home as well. And that's one of my favorite guys. They have other products there as well. Check them out today. Tell John that you heard it from the Savage Unfiltered show and put a smile on John's face because they are tremendous, tremendous people down there in Florida.
Yeah, you want 20% less on the cost of your
That's right.
coffee. If only Savaged Unfiltered could have 20% less Michael.
Oh, God. Don't do that. Don't do that. But, anyways.
Now, back to the
Yeah,
Wuhan
yeah.
hysteria. RFK also mentioned masks. In 2010, when I had my leukemia cancer, there was a couple week period before I went into the hospital. My blood counts were all out of whack. They had me wear a mask, even though knowing it did little good to protect me, but at least it was a little something. Same thing with Wuhan hysteria. If you have comorbidities that you are at greater risk of having long COVID or the really bad potential, like my friend Lisa Ewald, a nurse, had asthma, died not due to Wuhan, but Wuhan exasperated her asthma and she literally drowned in her own bed as her lungs filled with fluid due to pneumonia brought on by Wuhan because of her asthma. She didn't die of Wuhan, though. But if you have comorbidities, if you're like Jumbo Fatsker, huge, like Lizzo, you have a comorbidity,
Sure.
okay, I can see wearing the mask, even though even an N95 mask does not filter out the COVID-19, a SARS variant particulate size.
Joe,
But the average
absolutely.
person wearing a mask,
Yeah,
moron.
yeah, I agree
Moron.
with you, Joe. But I put up this graphic for a reason. The COVID-19 hysteria, Joe. Do you believe that now they're trying to focus more on COVID now? Obviously, you know, maybe they heard us the other day on X. Leave the Epstein shit alone. And I'm sorry, conservative America, for kind of leading him to that point. But I mean, yes, the guy was a millionaire pervert, uh, uh, and rightfully so, and he should have been jailed. But uh, maybe they heard us, Joe, and now they're focusing on COVID hysteria because you notice that maybe they're going to use this to scare or at least try to bring up the tactic again right before the midterms. I think
Yes,
that's going to happen.
absolutely. Well, again, it's just a chance to accuse RFK Jr. of being anti
Yeah.
vax. He's not anti vax. I'm, like RFK Jr., pro full informed consent. Mercury has no fucking place in our vaccines. Get it the fuck out.
Absolutely.
That's not being anti vax.
Absolutely.
That's being pro real vaccine like the Wuhan flu shot.
Mhm.
It's not a fucking
Oh, yeah.
vaccine. Stop calling it
Yeah.
that. It's a flu shot. It's why you have to get it every fucking year. You leftards fucking understand this, but for political reasons, you still will not admit reality. Even if you want to get the shots, fucking get them every year. Knock yourself out. Great. If you haven't figured out the chance of myocarditis and all the other high side effect risks aren't worth a mild flu shot risk, you want to get it? Do that. You don't get to force it on
Yeah.
others. If it were a real vaccine, I'd be
Well,
open to it. It's not a
yeah, hold that
vaccine.
thought. We got some people on X that that are that are kind of, chatting here saying, what's going on with the YouTube feed? We can't see it. Guys, we're streaming on YouTube, but apparently it says streaming on
You
our end, but
censor
they're
block
censoring the
it.
hell out
Yep.
of it because obviously the only three platforms right now
Yeah.
that are basically being viewed is Rumble, uh, surprisingly Facebook and X. Other than that,
Yeah,
it's
I'm surprised Fascist Book hasn't pulled it too. That's why I didn't even bother to link my YouTube channel today.
it's not
I
even
didn't
being
even
viewed.
waste
It's
my
shadow banning the
time
hell out of it.
because
Yeah.
you censor has gotten better than they
Mhm.
were, but they still censor a lot of stuff.
They're
And
quick on it,
Wuhan
Joe. They're picking
hysteria
that up. Oh,
stuff,
no COVID on YouTube. We can't have that. 5 years later, we still can't talk about it. So
I challenge anyone to, through peer reviewed medical
mhm,
journals, prove anything I've said today.
yeah.
150 years of mask technology and science, real science, not your leftards' fake pseudo intellectual science bought and paid for, giving you fudging the data to give you the results you politically want
Oh, yeah.
rather than like your eugenics in the
Well,
past,
you
like
look
your
at
like
yeah,
climate gate emails prove.
obviously, Joe.
You fudge the data to get a preferred narrative.
That's
That's not
exactly
real science.
that's exactly what RFK Jr. said. We've been lied to
Real
for the
sci-
course
we
of, now
right.
going on 6 years almost, with
Yep.
this entire data base analogy of the radical left. And they are the radical left, folks. They are not,
Yep.
I mean, they're not, your Democrats anymore. They have morphed into this radicalized party of hatred, division. I mean, just to go along, just to say a small example of what they are now. I mean, if anything, I look them as modern day domestic terrorists. I'm sorry to say it, but they are.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
hold them seriously anymore.
Yeah.
I want them to be held accountable for their crimes because you have people like Anthony Fauci that should be in jail right now in prison for what he has done. He flip-flopped back from his own policies, his health policies from saying masks work or maybe you should wear 2 masks. Maybe oh, no, now the masks don't work. You shouldn't be wearing masks. How the hell is anybody
They
supposed to take
never
them
did.
seriously?
Right. They never did.
Oh, shit,
He,
Joe, they never did. I mean, a
uh,
blue
right.
surgical mask. I did experiments like what 3 years ago when it was first coming out, and I was looked as a conspiracy nut job, even by my own family at points when I was doing this. I took a blue surgical mask, I put it under a black light, and I would say, "See, there's the fragments of the spray
On the
coming right on the
backside.
outside of the
Yeah.
mask." Now, if you take an aerosol spray can, folks, with a common modern sneeze or a cough, they're identical. It goes right through the mask. It does not work. They weren't designed for sneezing or coughing. They were designed for one droplet and one droplet only. Blood shattered going into a surgeon's face when he's operating on you, right? Doing maybe plastic surgery or God knows open heart surgery. They wear that, folks, so the blood doesn't come up into their mouth and their nose, and they don't contract some type of maybe illness that you have currently right then and then. That's what it was designed for. It wasn't
Right.
designed for people coughing and sneezing. I still hold on, Joe. My ribs hurt, but it's okay. I'll get this through. I still see people to this day, even in my city in Atlanta, still walking around outside, inside, don't matter, with masks on. Whether they're blue, they're black, they're white, they have different colors. It don't matter. That's still I even see them wearing the ski masks, right? Like, what the hell are you trying to
A,
protect
a
from?
knitted ski mask, which is less protection than the blue mask. But yeah,
Uh,
if you look at legitimate medical magazines about the mask science, you'll understand that. We're for real science,
mm,
not bought, paid for, preferred narrative pseudoscience.
yeah.
And people got rich on it.
Well,
They
well,
put
here's
their
something.
finance. If they
Yeah.
want to develop a new vaccine that passes all the proper rigors of double blind studies, I would maybe get it. If it were a
Mm,
vaccine, I might get it because I have many health issues. I'm at greater risk. If they came
yeah.
out with a real vaccine, I would get it.
Not trying to, like, yeah, Joe, I'd probably favor the same analogy as you, but, like, kind of going into a warp speed type of, theory with this whole COVID stuff. "Oh, it's safe, it's this." How can something be safe within 6 to 7 months, but yet alone, common aspirin or Tylenol is still going through test series? Still going through. When did Tylenol coming out? Like
Oh,
50 something years ago, maybe? And they're still testing Tylenol. How the hell are they how the hell are you to tell me that COVID is safe when they still can't therale th
right.
you know, say that
It,
that Tylenol is safe? And
if it,
here's my next question, Joe. Why are they trying to debunk RFK Jr.'s statement on COVID? Are they scared of something?
yeah, they're scared their big pharma
Sure.
lobbying checks will stop, is what they're scared of.
Yeah.
And they're scared that their stock portfolio, heavily financed into pharma, might drop a little. Uh,
Mhm.
uh, oh, I lost my train of thought there.
Well, as you
Uh,
get that here is Bernie Sanders, right? The millionaires and billionaires, right? I mean, hey, you want to go against millionaires and billionaires, but you still stand for the millionaires and
I
billionaires in the
remember.
CDC.
Before you hear that, I
Yeah,
remember what it was. If it were safe, they the shot that doesn't give you immunity to anything, the drug company wouldn't need immunity from lawsuits if it were perfectly safe and if it actually worked.
yeah. Here's
And they
Bernie right
wouldn't
here.
have to force people to take it.
Yeah, here's Bernie right here. Check him out.
Every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt
The other
as
way
well?
around, Bernie.
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been
Oh,
co-opted.
there's a lot of
Everybody
rhinos
but
that
you,
have
Senator,
taken
but you know
money,
what? When you
yes.
ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president, you got a billionaire behind it.
Oh,
You
shut up,
received
Bernie.
$300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well.
And who are the
Everybody is
biggest
corrupt,
PAC
but you.
donors? Soros, Bloomberg,
Yeah.
Buffett, Gates,
Why?
Zuckerberg,
Why why
leftists.
why is this communist asshole Sanders defending pharmaceutical companies? Why? Why, Bernie? Because you're getting the payout too as well through the CDC, companies like fucking CVS, Walgreens for literally hyping them up with COVID vaccines. Of course you are. Your campaign, your base. You don't think that you're not getting paid? Why don't you explain that? Why don't you explain that in the chambers there? Why don't you tell the amount of payouts that the Biden administration gotten over the course of 4 years through campaign funding and all that to hype up COVID vaccines? God forbid you don't wanna say that. You don't wanna say
Yeah.
that.
If Bernie gave a shit about anyone but himself, he would be with RFK Jr. on this, wanting to make sure we are as protected. There's no such thing as
Yeah.
perfection. Things are going to go wrong. Things are going to happen. Something in a study can honestly be missed and something come out later. Then you pivot. You discover something now you didn't know then. You be honest about it. Oh, that got past us. The left is never, ever, ever willing to admit a mistake, never willing to move on, unless if it's from a left-hard scandal. Then it's dodge, deflect, distract, deny, distort. They always want to move on from left-hard scandals, and this is another left-hard scandal. The Biden, like RFK said, or did one of the senators,
Mm,
Biden said he wouldn't take the Trump shot. Operation Warp Speed
yeah.
was faulty. It was a government boondoggle. It
Yeah.
should have never happened. But
I
then
I
Biden
agree
took
to that,
office
Joe, but
and he saw the
he
dollar
was he
signs
was
and he
very I
mandated it.
agree to what you're saying, okay? But I gotta put this in here because 'cause we're closing up time here, folks, and I wanna save, the rest of, our recording time here on Savage Unfiltered for,
Yeah.
what happened with me in Atlanta here, just briefly. You guys wanna check that episode out later in the week. I highly suggest you do it. But, even Pocahontas, folks, is going along with that too. Check out what Pocahontas says relating to everything of this whole charade here. Oh my God!
You are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like
and that
this.
is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them
And
away from
It's
people,
not a
Senator.
It takes it
vaccine.
away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most
What?
Go to a different pharmacy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what? Exactly, Joe. You bring up a good point. They're not vaccines. You know what they are, folks?
A flu shot.
Death traps,
Yeah.
killing people in mass numbers. Why don't you say
Pastor,
that the truth?
yeah, Pastor Richard Clark Dietering used to do Moment of Clarity on Wham Radio on Saturday. He's retired now because he got myocarditis, the major primary side effect hurting people's hearts. He got it from the jab.
Mm.
So, right, people in their 30s dropping dead of heart issues because of the jabs. These, these are not, this is undeniable realities. We've got almost, uh, we've got at least half a decade now
Yeah,
data showing this.
absolutely.
Again, these are harmful. Develop something that would be a real vaccine and I'll support it.
Joe, there's a shocker here. I want to put this up here, guys, so you can see it. There it is. A $500 million mRNA shocker. RFK Jr. pulls the plug on it. Literally pulls the plug. $500 million, Joe, that they invested in this crap.
Yeah.
Why are they put? Do they? This reminds me of like of certain other pandemics that they have done in the past, right? Where the country, the government, right, certain elected officials, right, radical ones, they see the population growing. They see the amount of people on, Medicare, Medicaid. Obviously, that affects the government to an extent, to a degree. And when they see it climb up, they develop these little pandemics to illegally kill off populations. And I'm not just, I'm not pulling it, in Alex Jones. I'm not pulling conspiracy theories. It's true to an extent, Joe. I mean, I don't know if you want to agree with me on that, but I mean, literally, I believe COVID was designed and purposely brought in for that. Now, I want to go into a little bit more with RFK before we kind of close out here. Listen to what he has to say more on this issue with Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. God.
Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said,
and I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big
Good
sign
job.
saying that you were
He's
lying
drilling her hard.
when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away.
You all said
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary,
keep your doctor.
You want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No.
It's the same with abortion. If you want one, go to a fucking state where you can get one. You don't get it everywhere. Why is mercury it's not the active or deactivated dead viruses or bacteria that's a problem. It's the fillers. What is mercury? A known toxin, a poison.
Sure.
People die of mercury poisoning if a thermometer, an old thermometer with mercury in it, happens to break in their body. If you get it on your skin, it can get in through your skin and kill you. What the fuck is that doing in our vaccines? When I was a kid, the vaccine schedule was like 12 shots. Now it's 4 dozen.
12. I don't remember being that high. I mean, I remember like maybe
I'm
3
not
or
against
4.
kids getting the tuberculosis, mumps, and measles. There's a comeback of all those. Those shots should be given to kids.
Sure.
But things regarding the pelvis, sexually transmitted diseases, an infant that is not sexually active, if you pedophiles would leave them alone, doesn't need that shot till their teen years. We can spread these shots out, and that's all RFK Jr. is saying. 4 dozen shots should be spread out, not forced into a child before they go to school.
I think they're terrified, because he is
Follow
really
the money. It's
erasing.
all about the money.
He is erasing away the hysteria one by one by one by one. He's exposing all the secrets, all their tactics, all your Bernies, your Elizabeth Warrens, your Raphael Warnocks right here in Georgia and Atlanta.
Yeah.
One by one. I mean, he is literally him and his team. They're not backing down, Joe. They're just going with the little magic razor.
Yeah.
Nope. We see right through your bullshit. We see right through your tactics. No more. And I'm glad that President Trump has been giving them the opportunity to use political muscle on these corrupted politicians.
Right. And again, Operation Warp Speed, fucking boondoggle, major failure. It didn't produce a vaccine. It didn't. It said it would produce a vaccine. It did not. We got flu shots, faulty flu shots, dangerous, multiple side effect flu shots, but Trump never mandated those shots. Biden and his crew did. We are for informed consent and choice. Oh, There's that word. They only use it when it comes to murdering babies.
That's
They're
absolutely true.
not for choice.
You know, interesting guys. As we close up here, I put a poll out here. Was the graphic is now probably about maybe 3 or 4 hours now. But obviously the votes have climbed up though. But during this time, about 3,977 votes that came in. You still have about another, 2 days and probably about maybe 13 hours left of it. Do you still support RFK Jr. With the direction going forward with health and everything else, and including COVID and stuff? Some 67%, Joe, are now
Yeah.
favoring it as
And of
yes.
course, it has to be said, this is not a scientific poll. It's an
No.
online poll.
No, it's an online poll, that was, obviously,
And I
me.
expect the no to go up a lot as the leftards send the link and say, oh, look, this savage guy's got this poll. We want you to go and fuck up the poll.
Sure, sure. You can go right over to my X account, guys, right at
Anyone can vote on it.
Savage.
It's
Yes.
not a scientific poll.
Anything, yeah. Obviously, it has dropped down a little bit. Right now, currently, it's at 66%, and the no's have gone from 33 to 34. So just giving you a clear example of where they are now. But hey, it's just
Well, and it's like Reagan said, trust but verify. I I'm with RFK Jr. as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, bringing the receipts, demonstrating the facts, demanding real scientific study, and we get to see the results. You don't get to fucking hide it. We need to see it.
Mm.
Prove it to me.
Yeah, prove it. And Joe, I want to put up this graphic here. I notice you put something on before it's news, okay? And the issue,
Oh,
and Joe always repeats this, guys. Always the issue, never the issue. Okay, and when people actually like RFK and others, they bring this up. Now thinking of even Marjorie Taylor Greene, I do agree with Sauce from the other day, and Joe on the other issue relating towards the Epstein thing. Joe, I'll agree with you. She's good for, a stir up type of speaker, right? You want to get the crowd
yeah.
stirred up and hyped up. Yeah. Maybe you should hire Marjorie Taylor Greene for the occasion. But I agree with you. The cause is never the real issue or the real cause, but only an occasion to advance the real cause, which uh,
Which is the
there you go.
accumulation of
My
power
words.
to
Yeah.
make the revolution.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes for rhinos, CINOs, as well as commie
Yeah.
fasci sociocrats. But yeah, that original article is on the Liberty Beacon. Search for me, Joseph M. Leonard there. But yeah, I often quote that in my Before It's News pieces and during my Constitutionalist Politics show.
And we also brought that up with a past episode, guys. If you want to check it out, with the mental health comedian Frank King, he's known to be funny, a matter of life and death. But he
Well,
wasn't afraid
he's
to
funny
he wasn't
guy.
afraid to basically put in the whole X thing. Oh God, no, 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 not X, no, not X, no, God
Yeah.
forbid. And then he actually,
Elon is
yeah,
murdering people. He actually
yeah,
fucking
yeah, right
said
on
that.
air.
I mean, he's a funny guy, and him talking about mental health is an important
Mm,
thing. But beyond that, he's your usual Hollywood
mhm,
leftard.
yeah. So other than that, guys, we're gonna close it out. Yeah.
He said, "Oh, I went to Blue Sky with all the other." Uh, yeah, you left X for Blue Sky because Blue Sky doesn't have community notes.
Right.
When you would say something on X that is blatantly a
They don't
lie,
they don't have
dozens of people would put links to the facts that disprove your
Joe,
lie.
they don't have
so you couldn't lie
exactly.
anymore
They don't
on
have
X.
community notes, but they do have fact checking, which is bullshit.
Oh no, they have leftard spin
Yeah.
narrating. Yeah.
So anyway, guys, thanks very much for checking us out. Remember, guys, to check out this upcoming week, we're going to be doing an episode regarding my my radical attack. Yeah, I was attacked by a radical nut job in North Atlanta coming out of an Italian restaurant, which I won't dox the location because of my privacy. I'm trying to keep it private to an extent, but I will be talking about it. So
Yeah.
you're going to want to check that out. But
Yeah.
other than that,
But back to King.
real quick, Joe, because we got to
I
close it out because I got it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Was it Massholes 2? I think. I did a video and there's a post at Savage Unfiltered Blogs, Massholes 2, that points to the video I did going into the whole King thing.
Yeah, you did go into that, Joe. I remember hearing that. But other than that, guys, we're gonna close out, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, guys, be savaged, not average. Average will get you nowhere in life. You got to stand up for your rights and what you believe in.
Yeah, be more like Savage's persona, not like his average Mike. That's why he goes by a different name.
This had been a Truth Productions media episode. Thank you for listening.